Hey guys, so I was gifted this smart calendar and I am so excited about it. I have wanted one of these for a long time, so thank you to the brand for sending it. Let's talk about some of the things you should know before you buy this. I'm gonna talk about some of my favorite things. We'll go through the unboxing and just things that you need to be aware of before you hit buy, okay? So first off, I have this set for just this background because I have it mounted on my wall here, and mounting it was really easy. There's a couple tips I want to point out to you, so when we get to that, I will definitely show you what you should be doing and not be doing. But mounting it, easy enough, and it looks beautiful. We do kind of have the cord tucked over here against the wall, so you can see that a little bit, but it looks so pretty. I chose this background to just kind of blend in and give it that kind of like a frame look in our house, and so it doesn't stand out too much. You can see it does have like the time and the weather here, and then you can go into it and you can see so many more things. So if I go to home, you are able to just see like the profiles of everybody on here. You could set a meal plan. We haven't done that yet today. Yesterday we had one on there, but we need to plan for the rest of the day. There's rewards for your kids, chores they can work on, your weather, your settings, and your calendar over here. So if we're gonna make a kid's eye doctor appointment, paying daycare, weight training, football, whatever kind of activities can be seen on here. And you can kind of go anywhere from this like main page. So we'll come in a little closer, and you can also go back and like put your background back on. So if I wanna hit this and see a different background, I can get back to this main spot. So I'm going back to my home, and here is where I can click into all of the goodies. So if I'm going into, well, before we do that, you can like check your notifications or even set a timer from this. And there's an auto timers here for like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15, and that will go off for you. So if you are, whatever it is that you're doing, you can do that. Maybe you're putting some cookies in the oven, or you just want to be aware of something, you can set that timer. Again, you've got your date and your weather up here, and you can choose to make that like as local or not as you want. So if you want to go into any of these up here, you know, we could change and look at the August calendar, look at the July, but right now we'll stick with July, and we will just go into this. We'll just touch one of these dates and it will tell me like the different plans for that day. Also, there's, like I said, chores and other pieces on here. So if we go into chores, it's gonna pop up my kids' chores that I was able to set on the app. And this was really easy and really fun. Like, they are loving these. There's things on here that are optional that they are just wanting to complete so they can go through and check things off. Things like even making your bed, wiping the table after meals, feeding the dogs. So just for an example, we'll go in and like, here, if this child is going to feed the dogs, they can just check. And it's super fun and exciting, and they can earn stars if you choose to set that up on your phone. So if they go into rewards, they can maybe have some showtime if they've earned 3 stars, or a piece of candy. You can set all of these like rewards up as well, and you can set them for as much or as little, or do no rewards and just have a chore list. It's totally up to you. But I will tell you, this has definitely motivated my kids, and I think it's really fun and really cool. So we've looked at chores, we've looked at rewards. Here's meal plan, and this is where you can add like your recipe book, you can choose your snacks, you can do all of these different things, and you can even do it from here. So in like, we had taquitos the other night, so that's on there. Maybe here I wanna say, we were gonna have spaghetti tonight. So I'm just gonna pop spaghetti in there. And you can do all of this right from here. Just search through and find it. For now, we're just gonna put pizza rolls on there. And this actually is crazy. It gives you like the recipes for some of these, and you can add your own as well too. But that goes in there, and you've set that. This right now, I have this just set for dinner, but you can choose your category here. You can choose show lunch, breakfast, snacks. So if your kids are constantly asking you, hey, what's for dinner tonight? They can see it on here. How cool is that? You also can have a to-do list. So there's shopping, other to-do here. I would add item. That's, I guess, what I wanted to do. You choose eggs. Save that. And now that is in my shopping list for me to see later on. There's photos here, so you can add your own photos. And like I said, I had chose this one for my really nice like background, and you can add all of those from the app from your phone, and they just appear on here. It is so awesome. The other thing I'll do is show you the calendar in just a minute. There are the settings here to go through everything, but here's the calendar, and this part is amazing. We as a family just love this. You can choose to show like the whole month at a time, and it's even showing me like the weather forecast for the next 5 days, which I think is so cool. Or you can do your week or your day. If I just go into schedule here, I do like that, so you can just see everything laid out nicely in a calendar form here, or a lot of times we like to do weeks so we can see everything. The home page is just going to show you a nice little variety of all of the things. This was easy to set up. I love the touchscreen piece of it. I love the ability to for my kids to interact with it, and for it to just make our lives so much more organized and really easy. Again, one of my favorite parts though is being able to set it like this when we're not using it, so it doesn't look like kind of a lot of clutter sometimes. This is just really easy. You can also flip this on its side. You can have it set up like with a little mount that way, or you can have it like this. So if you are looking for a new calendar for your walls, whatever it is, as a family, check this out. Hopefully this helps. Okay, now let's talk about the unboxing of this calendar. So when you first get it, it comes with all these little pieces. This is an important little mount for you, so keep that if you are needing to mount this. And then here is the calendar itself. It really is pretty lightweight. You've got some buttons on the top here, the power, the volume up and down, and then that little sensor there. So again, you can see from the sides, it does have a couple options for which way you're gonna face it. Also in the box here, we have, this is your little charger. So that's the part that's going to, I shouldn't even say charger, but your wall plug-in. So wall plug-in is in here, and you can see that it's got this little like rounded edge on it, just a nice little plug-in to hook it to the wall. You are going to see this like unless you're able to kind of feed it behind your wall, so just keep that in mind for where you put it. And then in here is all of your mounting stuff. So whether you choose to set it on your countertop or maybe you want to mount it to the wall, here is your thing for setting it on a countertop. So this just unfolds and then it kind of like leans into this. You can see the one side is the bottom right here. It has those little pads on it and it still looks good. So here's the back of the calendar. You can see the outlet there for where you're going to plug that piece in, and then these two little spots here for whether you hang this landscape or vertically, and then the little piece, the little cord can be put right through that, so that way you don't have any bumps or anything weird on your device when you have it hanging. So I love that feature of it. It definitely makes it just look a little bit more sleek and a little nicer. So you'd see that one would pop in right over there. Okay, so now we've got this plugged in, ready to go. This part was a little hard to peel off just to get it started, but once you do, it's really easy. You're going to choose your language, and you can see how it switches from like the orientation depending which way it goes. And right now I just have it set on that little platform. Then it's going to walk you through like downloading the app to your phone, which is really easy, and we'll talk about now. Okay, so we're in the app here, and we're just going to connect the two devices. So just pressing that little plus button in the top, and then up here, this is where I was a little bit confused at first, so easy enough to follow along though. We are using the calendar, and so up where it says friend code is actually where we're going to connect the app with the actual like calendar. So we're gonna hit add friend code and type that code in. If you don't see the code right away on your device, make sure you just keep pressing through the tutorial, because sometimes that's where it shows up. It doesn't show up like right away. It's just explaining it to you. So we're gonna hit connect, and then successfully connected. So now I'm going to check it out on my actual device, and I will show you that view next. Okay, so now that you have that connected, this is kind of where all of the magic happens. You can go in here, and this is where you're going to connect your current calendars. So we are currently already like Google Calendar people. So I'm going to go in here and go to sync and sync a new calendar. And this is where you can choose, you know, whatever calendars you use already. So like I said, we are Google people. So I'm just going to go into Google and get this part connected. Okay, so we're going to use this nice little template they gave us, and we're just going to drill right through. We're doing the landscape one, so we're going to drill right through these holes. So we actually needed to make the sizes a little bit bigger, so we're using a 1/4 inch drill here now, so that way our little wall anchors will fit in there. They were not fitting in the smaller size that we had used previously. Okay, so we've got one in there and just getting the other one in there. Just using a hammer to kind of like push it in the extra way here. All right, and then we're just putting the screws in there so it is ready to hang.
No.
Okay, so now we are pretty secure here. And then we've got this coming out the side and we're just gonna run along here to kind of hide that cord a little bit.